Hello everyone, this is Schmelick. This is my MonoGame video game development log 3. So we're going to do some map entry stuff. Then we're going to get into some text manager stuff as well. Alright, so let's see here. So I am at where you create the map entry here. And disable that. So there might be a little delay before you actually hear me talking. I'm just setting up the live stream. Anyways, so you might hear like, I don't know, like 30 seconds of clickings because I'm setting up the live stream. Anyways, so we are, yeah, we're gonna do some map entry stuff here. So when I create a map entry, it goes to a enumerator, enum, which tells if it's a town, if it's a normal, if it's a home. So I made some more assets of the map stuff. I got food. Right now it's gonna look like this. I'll make it look better later on, but right now it's gonna be very basic. I want to get more into the programming more than the visuals. All right, so we need to get. So I can't actually use this because I haven't imported into my content manager, content loader, which does all my content stuff. So we need to find it first. Not in there. Texture manager. So we have to load other assets into it. So we got empty, then there's food. So we have to modify this a little bit so it's empty. I can bring this down. I can do what I want. Empty, then it's. I can put any order I want, but I'm gonna keep it what it says here. So when I add more stuff, I know it's in the right order. I don't know. I just like doing it that way, so I know it's all there, so I don't miss an image. And I'm like, why am I getting this error? And it's like, oh, I didn't load it. So there's home, and after home, there's more stuff. Put something there so it knows. Bring this up. I'm just gonna keep doing this. Oops. It's a little off. Whatever. Alright, so it's home. Then mine. So we're creating different nodes and it's gonna load those images. I'll set as random. Then there's town. There's wood. Basically a forest. So you can actually craft stuff. Alright, it looks pretty good. Let me look. So I got that. Then it's home, or it's food, home, mine, quest, town, wood. Alright, let's put these all back. Actually, I'm going to separate them to about here. Now, this is using params, so I can create a list of what's going to be loaded in the thing, which actually uses this. It's actually a string array. Basically what you do when you're making a command line. Params? I don't know what to call it. I'll call it params. Some people call it blah blah blah. Whatever. Okay. So we have to also have to put it what's down here into here, so it's going to load those textures. So I know what number it is, basically. So it goes empty. And it's food, home, then blah 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 blah. Home, mine, and I know I'm gonna get an error here. This, and this. It's gonna be all over the place too. So I start doing this. Let's do that again. Boom. Done. Alright, so that should be loading all the text. So there should be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. So it's all there. So when I load up the next time, it's going to load those images now. Alright, so we have to put this in here too. So there's normal, town, home, food. Actually, basically it's hunting. All I'm going to do is hunting, because you have to survive. Food, normal, town, home, hunting, mining, or mine. I'll just do mine, and I'll do hunt. It's just shorter and simpler. Mine, quest. Do I have town? Yes, I have town and wood. Alright, so they're all there, so I'll have to do that through here. Okay. So it's going to do this first. I'm going to put this at the very top. And this part's going to load the texture. So I have to do, I could do a case, but I don't like doing case, so I'm going to do about all through if. Map type. If map type equals home. Then I'll put a bracket. Something like that. And I'll just keep copying these. So there's home. We can go to the top to the very bottom. They don't have to be in order. They just have to be in here. Quest. Town. And wood. Alright. So that loads maps. So this part's going to load the texture. So this is texture. I haven't actually really used the texture. So it's texture. It's, what is it called? Actually, I can close this. I don't need to see it anymore. So it's texture manager. I should know this, but texture manager. Load or get texture. Texture type. Texture type. Dot map. There's only one right now. And the texture type, I think it's called map texture ID. So we need, for that one, we'll need a home. And boom. So that's going to load that texture. Now we're going to go through the other ones. Now this is going to be if, and it's going to go else if, blah, blah, blah. It's not going to be all if, but right now it is. So this will be food. Let's go to the next one. Mining is going to be mine, or I don't know what, mine, I guess I put it as. So let's keep going through these. Normal is going to be empty. Quest. It's going to be quest. This one's going to be town. Town and wood. So if I want to add stuff to the game, I can just do that really easily. So let's do else if. This is good code practice to use as else if. A lot of people don't do it. They just do if, which is really bad. And I actually don't need brackets in here because there's only one line. So I can actually get rid of these and they'll still work. Now if you do multiple lines, yes, then you do need these little brackets. But if you're just doing one line, you don't need it. But in my this log series, I'm not going to really talk about too much about C. I'm going to show you my game practices and how to make games, stuff like that. Let me scroll down. Okay. So there it is. So it's actually going to load the texture when you create a map entry. Now I have to go here and change a couple things. Not a lot, just a couple. Alright, so when it generates this thing, I put this as a default texture, map texture. Now I can't do that. And I set them as all as home, which is really bad. So I have to get rid of this. And I have to randomize this, which is really easy to do. So I can go int random map type, doesn't really matter what you call it, random, next 0. Now what is my max value? What is my min value? I could do max value map entry, but my last entry is wood, so I can actually just go like this. Set is an int is wood. That should be the last entry. Should be. Then we just do this. Okay, now it's freaking out because it's trying to find the map type from that value. I should be able to do it like this, and it should work. We'll find out right now. And we have to go down in here because when it sets up the textures, here's the textures. I don't want to use this empty texture. I don't want it to use this. What I wanted to use is the actual texture that it's using. So how I would do that is I would have to get the map entry before it would do the map cleanup, because it's used in some of these. Now I really just could keep it as empty because all the images are the same width and height, but I don't like doing it like that. So we're gonna go map entry. Oops. Map entry. Cur map. Cur basically mean current map entry. There should be get map entry, map entries, comma, x, x, y. That should get the map entry from this. And this is using max and height. So I'm going to use this. Disable that. So it's going to get the map entry, but I want to get the texture from it. So current map entry, texture, just like that. Now we'll get the texture. As for these, I'll keep these in here, I guess. I don't like it in there, but I'll keep it in there. Now the reason why I can't put it right in here, these parts, because it's going through each X and Y, and I need to find those X and Ys. So it has to be in here. Now, okay, that part's done, hopefully. It tells us if it's active. Randomize the nodes. This will create the texture, so I don't need to do texture stuff. Now, why do I have this in here? Let's disable it, see what happens. So it's being used here. Okay. I don't like that. So what I can do is I can bring this above here. So it loads the texture. Then what I do is I use map entry dot texture. Map entry dot texture. That should work. We'll find out. And this part, I like to have like single lines at the very top. Then the major stuff below that. Okay, so this requires map position. That's bad. God damn it. So what I can do is, oops, actually just copy that. Put it down here. It's gonna freak out. Actually, I don't even have to use that. So this, I can't put this in here. So we can just do map entry dot position. I don't need this. That's just for testing, so I can actually get rid of this too. Everything else looks good. So it's alone the texture, that's the position. This has to be outside. This has to be outside of this. You might get an error, you might not, we'll see. So far it looks good. I randomize all the nodes. Here's all the random nodes. Pretty cool. Let's get rid of those red lines. Let's disable that. Let's turn it false. So I can actually see what it looks like just with the map. So that's what it will look like. It's going to be better than this. Not all these nodes can be used up. But that looks pretty good. It's not bad. Not too bad. Huh. Okay. But I'll leave that like that for now because I have to do some cleanup in here. Like get rid of this. I don't need that. I'll leave this one here. I have to do some commenting on this as well. Remember that now because it is working. It is actually using the map texture. It's actually bringing up the text mesh, and it's pretty quick. Even though it's going through each entry here, it's going through a for each loop. No, it's going through two. No, it's not going through a for each, or is it? I think this is going through a for each. That's pretty good. That's pretty quick. When you generate a new map, that's pretty quick. Look at that. That's pretty good. Surprised. It's going through a for each loop for each item, for each X and Y to find the map entry to bring up the texture. That's pretty quick. I'm surprised. Alright, the next thing we're going to do is get into a utility mod. Well, it's sort of like a utility mod. It's actually a utility. It's the text manager. Now it uses images. It's all images. It is not a sprite batch or a sprite font. It's actually my own images that make up the text. So we're going to create a new class. Now we're going to call it, I don't know, text manager. I don't know, text manager. It's going to be a single class. I might make it into a, yeah, I'm going to do that. Let's add something like that. Put this in here. Now I'm doing a lot of OOP, object-oriented programming. It's the best thing if you want to get into if you want to reuse your code again, and you're making a game or an application, you want to make like version 2 or some game, and you want to use the same assets or not the assets, the same code. You can do that if you use OOP. I can actually use a lot of the stuff that I've made in this project into future projects if I wanted to. Like if I want to have to use the same texture manager, I can do that. I just have to input these entries in the texture manager into my game and it'll work. If I want to have the same type of map thing, I just drag these into the new project. That's why I'm really going into hard coding. Hard coding is basically you tell it to set it on the screen by 100 pixels by 100 pixels. That's hard coding. You're not actually making dynamic, so you can I don't know, that's the best way to describe it. So I can basically just reuse my code over and over again. Like some games, they have like 95% reusable code, so it's badass. That's why I'm in MonoGame, so I can actually use the same code that I made in this into like iOS or Android or IU. I don't have to remake a whole new project again, which is really neat. So that's public. Now this is going to run off a list, which is going to run off text entry. Let's make this public. I have to get my using correct. I just take it from my other projects. Copy this. Later on I'll do something like this when I'm done with that project. I'll do organize and where is it? It's in here somewhere. Where it basically removes the use and statements I'm not using in my code, but I can't do that yet because I'm not sure I'm going to use yet. So it removes the usings that's not actually going to be used in the code. It does it automatically. Like if I go like this one's almost pretty much done. Is it refactoring? Remove unused using. So it knows which ones I was using in this project. But so I wasn't using the storage and I wasn't using the gamer services. So it knows. Text entry, which is not showing up. Oh. I like to keep my namespaces in the same area. I'm not into that big, like, tiny RPG dot utility dot text manager. I don't like doing it like that. Because if I have to do it that way, you have to put this another thing of using in here, and it's just more work. So let's do text entries equal new text entries. Good. All right. So this is going to have basically not a lot. It's going to have a texture, 2D, texture. It's also going to have a position, a vector 2, position. Now I was just thinking right now of storing a single or character, a char or a string of what the letter is. But I'm thinking, do I really need to do that? I'm like, no. And so when I would create an entry, I'd put like a letter or character, like character, if it was like test, character T for the first letter. But I'm thinking about that, I don't really need to do that. All I need to do is public. I was thinking about doing that. Texture, vector 2, position. I probably don't even have to do this. Probably don't have to do this. I mean, public. Make these are public right now. I'll make them as private, then I'll make properties, but that's later on. There's public. Then there's public void draw sprite batch. And there's also going to be some static methods in here. It's going to find the length of the whole text and make a sizing from that. But that's way later on. So I can align text to the center of the screen if I wanted to. But that looks pretty good. That's pretty much all I have to do. Draw calls. Smart batch. Draw. Texture. Position. Color. White. That's it. That's it for now. Okay, let's close all these. I don't need these open. I will need texture manager. We're going to create a new list here. No, not text manager. Texture. We will need a new list here. Now I have to do this one different. I can't put this into an ID like this. Can't do it like that because it's text, and I have to load the text to a character, an ASCII, ASCII, yes, ASCII. So if I want to make letters or use the text images for my characters, you have to go through an ASCII table. I don't know what to call it. It's called ASCII table. That's not the right one. Where is it? There's a good one now here. Here it is. So doesn't matter what you're using. If you're using a Mac, iPhone, they'll have character stuff in them. So I need from character, let's see here. Here's the characters, space, plus, star. Here's the numbers. So I'll need the numbers. I'll need these numbers here. From 0 to 9. And I also need the characters from A to Z and some special characters. How I'm going to do special characters, that's going to be a special character in the code. But I'll need 0 from 9 and A to Z. Probably just do the numbers in A to Z right now. And period. That's it. Alright, so I need to find where I put... It's part of an old project that I had. Nope. There's also going to be scale included into drawing the text onto the screen. Menu, craft dialog, snippets. So I need 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Let's see what this has. It has some special characters as A to Z and 0 to 9. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. That looks pretty good. So, let's go into here, add folder called text. Actually, I'm going to do this font, not text. And we just drag it in here. So let's build this. If you look at the very bottom, it's going to build all the XMB files. XMB, I mean. For each character, 0 to 9, A to Z. Well, it's all right here. All of it is right here. All of it. All of this. It's converting the PNGs into XMBs. Now, the reason why XMBs are so good is because when you bring them into XNA, doesn't matter if it's on iOS, Android, PC, it brings it right into the video memory. It doesn't have to reconvert it again. And the file sizes is really small, which I really like. It's so small. That's why when you're making games, Windows doesn't know what a PNG is. It doesn't know what the format is. Now Windows, yeah, it knows what it is. But iOS, Mac, it doesn't know how to convert PNG files, even though you probably have some app or some program that does PNGs and it loads them up. In a programming term, it doesn't know how to do PNG files. Because when it wants to put the image of the PImage on the screen, it has to decode it. Like if you have a 1028 by 1000 by 28, that's around like 3 to 4 megabytes. And when you want to convert that into so the video, you can see it on your video or on your window, it has to use a little bit more than that. Even though you can use a compression that brings it down to maybe like 1.5 meg through a PNG, it'll still bring it up to about 3 or 4 megabytes. But if you use XMB files, it doesn't bring it up as that much. It'll bring up like maybe 100 kilobytes, not kilobytes, 100K, kilobytes? Not bytes, kilobytes, megabytes, kilobytes, I think so it's called. I don't know. Something like that. So that's why XMB files are really good. It can use it goes directly right to the video memory. It doesn't have to re-encode it or all that crap. That's why it's good. So, anyways. So we have to use a special loader for the text. Yeah. Now there's an easy way to do this through a character map. So let's set this as private. So we need to get a text loader. I'm thinking here, do I need to put any... Actually, I don't have to make something different here. The ID will be... trying to think here. How would I do this? So the ID runs off a number. Okay. I'm just thinking here, I'm going to do this. What I'm thinking is I could do it two ways. I can make a array list from, let's see, 0 starting at 60 all the way to 90. Is that right? 60 to 90? So I won't have to worry about these. God damn. So I'm thinking here, what is most important? The characters or the numbers first? Probably the no, do the numbers first. Numbers, characters, and after that would be specials. So I need to make a load private static void load text texture content manager content texture type texture type. Actually, I just do this type. Now I could load. Actually, no. I'm gonna have it like that. I really don't need the type either. Type is basically what telling you what it is. Like right here, it's a map. If texture type equal map, else it's going to do this. Which it won't use this at all. I can actually set this as optional. Do it like that. Ooh. Let me look that up. That should work. Oh, no, it's for Java. Let's look up C# functions because I can't remember how it says optional. Public void. The hell? Okay. I have to do it the old way. Can't do it like the Java way. God damn it. So the way I can do it is do private static void load texture content manager content, texture type, actually just do type, there we go. Now this is going to show up the same, it'll still work the same, blah blah blah. Now I'm going to put something right here, only used for text, only used for text. So when I create this method, if I try to load this, try to load texture. See, if you look at the very bottom here, only used for text, so I know this is only used for text. As for this one is used for other stuff. So I really don't need to type because it's only used for text. That's all I need. Just this. Alright. Now I'm figuring out how the hell I'm going to do this. So I want to do the characters first. Let's bring this down a little bit. I want to do the characters like A to Z first, then I'll do the numbers, after that I'll do the specials. Which is, I'll do 4. Set as an index. I haven't set the length yet because I don't know. So it is about A to Z. I need a calculator. I know what it is, but it has to be right on. $25, $24, $24. Const int max characters 24. Which is right there. So I can change this value whenever. Now this is only for A to Z. Only for A to Z. Alright, so we need to create a character from each index. So let's go chart. Character equals char index. That should work. What am I doing wrong here? I need to bracket it. Okay, I'll do it the other way. Convert to character. Now in here there will be an integer, which is index. I will convert into a character. The index will turn into a character, blah blah blah. Okay, so we got the character. So it should be A. We're gonna do a little test here. Load text, just like that. We'll go here, load texture. We go content. Done. Okay. I could use this actually. What I have to do is I will have to put the load into here, which is basically what I'm doing here. I could actually convert it back to a character. The index back to a string, I mean. The int will turn it to a character, then I can convert it back to a string, which would load it basically the same way. So I wouldn't have multiple. You know what, screw it. I already got it here, so. You know, I am going to do it that way. So private static void load text. like this. So I can actually reuse my code here. Because if I would do it through here, it would be more static. I would have to copy this into here. I don't feel like doing it like that. I still have to copy these though. Oh, copy that one. That's normal. Okay. So we're gonna go load texture. And this will not work. This part. I have to bring this list texture. No, it's not a texture, it's something else. Texture entry. Texture entries equal new blah blah blah. Oops. Let's put this like this. Put this in here. Then from here, it's like if. I'm gonna set this as type because this is gonna drive me crazy. str type, telling it the string type. Which that goes there. I could actually just put this right in here. I don't need this. Now if type equals map, then it's going to be map textures equals texture entries. Else if type equals dot text, then it's going to be textures. Textures. Equals texture entries. Now what I can do is I can create a list from here, which will load the list from there. So what I can do is we go string text entries goes new string. I'll leave it like that. Actually, I can do it like this. I like using this, lists because it's so much easier. But both have their benefits. Actually, keep the const up there. Constant. So go add character to string. So that's going to load all the strings. Okay, that's only for A to Z. I need to get the 0 to 9 as well. So we're going to create another for loop. That's max. Got max text constant max number characters, I don't know. But there's also going to be an offset, const, int, text, characters, character, offset. Set this at 0. Characters, characters, const, int, max, number, offset 0. Alright, let's go back to our table. We don't need that window anymore. Let's close that. RSA numbers is from 0 to 9. Let's see. X number, which is 9. But what is the offset? Close that one. The offset is, for 0 it is 48. It could be 47, but we're going to try 48. There's 48. We're going to just disable this one for now, because we're going to work with the characters first. Make sure we're getting it right. So the character starts at 101. Really? 101? Okay. Oops. No, it starts at 65, not 101. Yeah, it starts at 65 to 90. This one's... That one's 48. The hell, man? Oh, I got that right. This is 64. I'm pretty sure. Okay, let's get back. Oops. I forgot. Live events. Live control room. Okay. So it starts at 65, ends at 90, which is 24. See if that's right. 64 plus 24 might be off a little bit. No, that's minus. Come on, Shmelly. That's 88. $90. Let's clear this. 90 minus 65 equals 25. 25 plus 64 equals... Is it 65? One of these are off. They might be off. But they're pretty close. This could be 63, actually. I should be off too because it's going from 0 to 24, not 25. It's not going from 1 to 25, it's going from 0 to 24. Okay. Max. That. But I also have to put this in here. Plus. Or it's going to do 24. 24 is like cancel key. Which I don't want to do that. I want to have the A character. A to Z. So added the entries. When it gets to here, I'm going to stop it and see if it's doing the right ones. Alright, so you want to go load, texture. Actually, we just want to do load text. Not sure it's like that, but it is. This will be at the very bottom. Cool. It told us to stop right there. So if we load it up, it's actually going to hit the breakpoint. There it is. So I can look at these. Yeah, it is off. So it is 25. Or 65. Start up again. So we got A to X. So we're missing Z, so it is 25, not 24. My bad. There's A, X, Y. Really? 66? A to Z. So we're going to do the number part next. Do the numbers. Okay. Let's turn this back on. Check this. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So it's missing 9. So this will be 10. Zero to 9. Good. And I don't want these to be in here. Actually, well, they'll have to be there for now. But I don't like these in here. Anyways, I'll figure something out. Now, after this is where we get into the special characters, so you just have to do these ones by hand. Okay, special characters. Let's see. We got period, comma, question mark, slash. It's very basic ones. So let's do through each one. So we want text entries. I'd add. I'm gonna do convert to character, comma. That should work. Or not. So we'll do it this way. We'll do it through the character map. Let's bring this over here. Character map. So we want comma. It is 44. Maybe I can do it like this. So it's comma, this one, and after that it's period, then question mark, then slash. That's it. So that creates all the string entries. The next part, we have to load the textures. That part is actually really easy. Really easy. Because I got all the stuff into a list array. I can actually just go like this. With one line, I go load textures. Oops. No. Do content. Type is text. And we do text entries. Now we have to convert this to an array. Because right now it's in the list. Go to array. It should be good. Once I do that. That should load it. I'm going to put this right here to see if it is actually doing the text. So I can see the list. So it's 40 items. Some reason it missed the A, but it got 0 to 9. Let's try it again. What? Oops. So it's 65. I went a little too low. Okay, for this one, I can't do it this way. I forgot. Yeah, I'm doing this wrong. I'm doing these wrong. I'm glad I put this as a string. I forgot. I wasn't really thinking. I was just thinking of the character, not the actual name. So it's key, comma. And I also have to change this a little bit too. So we're going to create a format here. So it's string format. Now, I'm not going to explain exactly what this does too much. Basically, it's going to put the key in front of the text as the first 0 brackets can put this character called key. Then it's going to put the actual character string, because all the items, all the naming of this is a key 0, key 1. And if I just put just a character of 0, it's going to freak out because it's going to say, hey, there's no 0 PNG. So I have to do it this way and it'll actually work. There's other ways you can do this. You can do like this. Like I was in the bracket, I would do like string, the format, not string format. I would do like, it would be like dot add then I can go like this, key, then plus, character, to string, blah blah blah, like that. But you could also do it this way. This way is more cleaner, and it's more easy to manage than this way. Like if I want to change something in here, like if it's like, if I have a minus between the key and the 0, I could do something like that, and it would format it to something like this. If there's a minus, it'd be like key minus 0.png. So basically the 0 and 1, it would be like this. When it creates a string, it'd be key 0.png. So basically that's what it does. Okay, I need one more bracket. There. I love using string format. It's so much easier. This has to be font. It cannot be text because my folder where my images are in font. Forgot about that. Okay. Font. Yeah, it's freaking out again. A to Z. 0 to 9. Good. All I have to do is convert this part up here. Actually, just take this whole line here. There. This doesn't require max. This number offset. Good. There's no more errors. Let's check this one more time. Texture entries. There's all the entries. Rate to 40. And we want to check the actual key A goes all the way to Z. Then it does the letters. And after that, it does the specials. Cool. But I'm going to create another enum up here. Public enum. Text char character ID. The reason why this is important because I need to use this in multiple projects. So I'm just going to put them in here. Keep the numbers in there. The numbers are important. It's freaking out because I'm not putting a comma. I'm put a. It's saying, hey man, you need to put a comma here. But I'm gonna keep those values in there. I can't change those values because I need them. Now it's gonna freak out here because it's saying, hey man, you don't have that there. I have to make this an int. So I just do this. I'll fix it. Bam. Let's load up one more time, just show you it's working. Text search entries, there's all the entries. And we're going to string list. There's all the stuff. Still the same. I just did some little conversions. So I can use this text character ID in my text manager. So I can close this now. Alright, turn that off. Let's close that. So here's the text entries. This is going to create the list of text depending what characters I use. And blah blah blah. Now this might be static in the future. This might be a static class. Because I don't really need to activate every time. It's just me static stuff. Let's find text manager. Texture manager, I mean. So I need to find a way to get the texture. That loads the texture, that's fine. Get the texture. So it's using idea. Actually, that's really good. I can still use that. I don't have to make a customized loader for my textures. My text, I mean, my text textures. What I can do is, since they're all IDs now, I can actually access them really quickly. But I have to do else if texture. Change this to type. God damn it. Font. Then it's going to use result equals I'm not going to do text textures. I'm going to do is font. Text textures looks just too weird. That's going to figure out here. Equals bracket int id dot texture. Make sure to close this off. What? Okay. What's going on here? Oh. No, it's texture entry. It's static. Font textures. Private. Static. There's the type. It's weird. Int id texture bracket. Okay. Not sure what happened there, but it's working now. Let's do a build to see if there's no error. 2 builds, 0 failed, 0 up to date, 0 skipped. I don't know what happened there, but it's working now. That's a little weird. Save everything. So it can actually load font now. But it's also storing... that won't work. It's storing the string. But when I want to get the texture, I'm using an object. So we're going to create something else here. It's going to be the same, but it's going to be called string key. And it's going to do this differently. I'm not sure how can I do this because it's using a string. So it has to search the string for the okay, if I do if type equals dot font, no, let's keep it the same. Map. So it needs to find the list. So we're going to create list. Texture. Entry. Texture. Entries. Something like that. Actually, I don't even have to do that. All I have to do is right here. Texture entries equals map textures. Nope. Map textures. Else if type equals font, same thing, equals font textures. Then from here, I don't need this. We're going to do a for each loop. So it's going to check the texture entries. Texture entry. Entries in texture entries. No, let's copy this. It's going to freak out because I haven't done this. Whatever. There. If, no, not double if key to lower, so all the characters will be, if there's any capitals, it's going to put them all lowercase, equals entries dot key to lower, no, not to char rate, to lower. I always do that when I'm doing a search entry, so if I get one character not capitalized, it's not gonna freak out. I'm saying, hey, you don't have the right type. You need to get the right type. So the result equals entries dot texture break. I do break, so it actually met the requirement here. So it put the texture into the entry, the result. Then when it found the result, I told it break because you don't need to search anymore. You found it already, so you can just get the hell out of here. So it's going to get out of here and it's going to return the result. So there's two types of, you're saying, how can you do that? These are optional. So there's like, you can do multiple if one of the values is different. This is object and this one is different. So when you do get texture here, they're going to show two of them now. There's object ID and now the string key. So you can search by string key and you can search by object ID. The reason why I want to use that because when I'm doing the text manager and I want to use a certain key, I can actually go that way and find it. I'm not sure can I do that, but I could do that if I need for a certain texture and I don't know the ID is, the object ID, but I know what the string value is. I can do that. Yeah, this will come important in the future. I don't need to check this code if it's working. I know it's going to work. It is pretty simple. It looks pretty simple. Yeah. This one's done. So I can close that off. Loads of texture. Alright, the texture manager. I'm going to put this as a static. You know what, I'm going to do this until our next episode. We did a lot of stuff today. We did a whole bunch of stuff. We did some of this. We did a lot. Some of the text entries. Made a text entry. And we started to do all this stuff. Put all the stuff in here. We did a good chunk. So I'm going to wait until the next episode before I continue with this one. Only for number 0 to number 9. Special characters below. Characters from A to Z. So I know it's happening here. I know it's happening here, but sometimes if I did this project for like 2 weeks or like 3 weeks, then I go back in here and wonder what the hell I did here. I know exactly what I did. It shows it all there. Now I can actually reuse this code for another project. It's not all hard-coded. This is actually, I can use this stuff for another project. All I have to do is take the images and put them in another content loader. Content manager, and bring these 2 class files and they'll run it. It's nothing. So I'm gonna stop it here. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I did a whole bunch of stuff here today. This is MonoGame video game development log 3. It's not really stuff exciting yet, but we're gonna get into the exciting stuff. Maybe not soon, but we'll get into it. As for this load texture, I don't need this. I can remove it because it's doing through here. Yeah, and I put these together so I know there's like 2 types. I do stuff like that so I know, or I try to have it like that. So guys, I'm gonna go for now. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care.